Tonight, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's time for Monday Night Football on EA Sports.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight we polish off Week 10 with a good Monday night matchup between the Washington football team and the New York Giants. And this carries into the end zone. They had no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Carter on first down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
On a 10-yard loss.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Looking to throw on second down. Carter. He's going to find his running back. It's complete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. So now here are the Giants backed up to start their first drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
So this is what we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter run it out of there. But when you've really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
Brought down at his own 6-yard line. It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
To throw on 3rd down. Tucker looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete.
That's good for a Giants first down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
It's
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through 1 tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 24 carries, 112 yards.
Yeah, he could very well be on his way to a rushing title, but guess what? His offensive line, they're meeting separately because they want that rushing title as much as he does, and they want to make sure they get him there.
Yeah, the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal forthcoming as he takes this down to about the 5-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Giants are going to take a 1st quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator and remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
at their own 20.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But Washington looked to get this one back, and indeed they did. They will still have possession. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Number 81.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Carter, and the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And taken right at the 35. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
25-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And he'll give it here to his running back.
Another carry for the running back.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3rd and 1.
And a give this time to the tailback. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Well, they gave themselves options there on the third down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure to just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Operating from the gun, Carter. Throwing middle, and it's complete. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. With that catch, he's now 18 away from 1,000, so he's at 982, and that's how many Randy Moss had, 2018 Hall of Famer.
And similar to the recent Hall of Famer, we argue about which catches were the most memorable, because so many of them were. 982 and counting.
10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to the one.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Carter. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here's Carter on 3rd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
A 10-yard loss on the play. It's 2nd down.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield.
Carter's pass.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. From the gun, Carter. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Carter's pass.
And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And his kick here is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Defense.
Unbelievable.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Operating from the gun. Carter to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
A line of scrimmage once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
52
From the gun, Carter, and he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Credit the Giants' defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field. But defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And his kick is indeed good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
14. Washington 3.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
At their own 30-yard line.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking... The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. With touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And it's 21-3. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown.
Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will make it into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Back to throw is Carter. Back to the air on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Carter. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Complete.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 15. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Tucker trying to lay one up deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. The final shot before break. Tucker. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Harrison Butker set to kick a
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And this carries into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, where it was the Dolphins who were able to pick up the victory at home. 33-28 was the final. From there, we take the long trip across the country, about as far as you can go. Check on the Seahawks in Seattle. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Arizona Cardinals. 30-18 was the final score. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. The Browns made it through the first half of the year unbeaten, but they suffered their first loss of the year. They fall to 8-1. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. Rodgers on the return. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
So now the Giants set to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Brought down. But that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the door gets tough in here.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
That one good for 12 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Give them 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion. He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd.
3rd and goal from the 6. And he'll get this up awfully close to a first down, but by the looks of it, might be a yard shy. It'll be a gain of 5, but they do keep him out of the end zone, and now it's 4th down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And Washington is able to come up with a goal line stand. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Looking to throw. Carter. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they'll get him down up past the 15. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Now Carter, off the play fake, looking middle, and it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
Back is sacked. Fumble on the play. Recovered.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold onto the football while being jostled?
A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
3rd and 4.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this will be a Giants first down as good running gets him to about the 44. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The quarterback taken down and...
Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They frustrated these receivers tonight, really held down the passing game, but there got the penalty.
Fine line between aggressive, good coverage, and interference, and they crossed it on that play.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. The Giants on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They're looking at third and that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Giants just continue to pour it on.
Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. From the gun, Carter firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Number 19.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Operating from the gun, Carter. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Now 2nd and 10.
Throwing again, Carter. Open man there is Malone. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Foul, roughing the passer, defense.
This is unbelievable.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
51 for Mike. Here we go.
From the gun, Carter. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line.
Number 81.
And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover.
3 at the 13-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
33.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
1st and goal.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on.
Kicker, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. New York ready to go again offensively. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
Check, 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 check. 53.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Defense.
Well, he's got to have that wrong, doesn't he? They declined that.
There's no doubt about it. Sorry to step on you there, partner, but let's go ahead and run this one together, right? Incomplete pass, yet they call pass interference, and somehow you're going to decline that penalty?
I'm so confused. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on fourth down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you...
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
97's the mic. 97's the mic. Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up. Trap 60.
Back to throw. Tucker. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
42.
Extra point up and through. And that will extend this big lead.
Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak. Carter now. Throwing on first down. That's caught. It's Malone. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Carter on 1st and 10. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Operating from the gun, Carter. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Here's Carter throwing on 3rd and long. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Back Back to throw is Carter. Throwing on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Giants are going to get the football back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season,
and he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Washington 10.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Washington, it's just their second loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.